All right, so we're gonna do colonial slip trailing techniques. Okay, they're listed on the board. We're gonna start with spongeware. So like I said, the containers on the bottom two shelves are large containers, right? And that's what you're gonna use for spongeware. So everybody's gonna start with a base. You're gonna start with the base with your warm-up project, with your cookies, and with your houses, okay? Please do not use the Colonial slip trailing bottles for that, okay? So I'm gonna choose a color. I'm gonna go violet. So notice I picked it up by the container, not by the lid. Okay, this lid is not all the way on, right? So when you get to your table, make sure the lid's really on, nice and tight, and shake it.
Ping, ping, ping.
This feels kind of solid, we'll see. All right, and then you're gonna open it. We never pour into the lid, okay? Please don't pour into the lid because that just makes the whole bottle messy. All right, I'm gonna get a sponge and I'm gonna bring it out all the way, okay? If it's dry, that's even better for the spongeware. Spongeware is our first technique. So you're gonna stick your sponge into the glaze. And this is really easy. You're just gonna dab, 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 okay? I'm gonna go get some more, dab, dab, dab. You wanna keep reapplying, okay? What happens if I don't reapply? What's gonna happen to my sponge? Go ahead.
It's gonna like dry out. Right.
Dry out. What, anybody else have another idea?
It'll become bad.
What, you think it might, the clay might affect it somehow? Yeah, what do you think it's gonna do?
That's what I meant. It's gonna stick suck it in.
You might get brown on your sponge, right? And then you might put brown clay back in your glaze, which you don't want, right? All right, so we're gonna give a nice little, what was your question?
How do you make it shiny?
Oh, we're gonna do that all the way at the end with overglaze. All right, so I have purple as my base. What was the technique called? Spongeware. Awesome. All right, and then we would let that dry. Now we're gonna pretend it dried. Okay, everybody pretend. Are we good? All right, and then see the little bottles up here? Let me bring them over.
Oh my god, I love that.
Okay, so these are slip trailing bottles. Slip trailing means to draw. Okay. Can we see this in the picture?
Yes.
Okay. Also up on the cart here are a little thing of papers. Okay, so the papers are for testing out the bottles. Now the bottles tend to kind of burp a little bit, meaning they might puff out like a little bubble. So you need to test them first, okay? So let's try brown. So there's little needles in most of them. You're gonna take the needle out, you're gonna keep track of the needle, turn it over, and you're gonna shake it. So those all going to the bottom, okay? And then you're just gonna do a little bit. That's all. And we're not drawing all over the paper, right? All right, so our next technique is called lattice wear. Who knows what a lattice is? Do we have one at home? Go ahead.
Well, I'm pretty sure like you do it like on top of a pie, like cross.
Yeah, excellent. You could do it on a pie. You remember, like it looks woven, right? Anybody have a garden?
No, I do.
Do you have a lattice in a garden that vines grow up? Yep, that's where they get the name.
But all the plants got eaten by deers.
Oh, shredded deers. All right, so let's do lattice work. Lattice wear. So it kind of looks like tic-tac-toe, right? Can everybody do that? All right, so that's lattice wear. That's lattice wear, okay? Next one is dot wear. What do you think I do with that? Dots. That's pretty easy, right? So again, keeping track of that needle, shaking it down. So, oh, did you hear it?
That's just almost.
That's what you don't want to. Oh, that's what you don't want to happen on your clay. All right, so that's why we test. Okay, dots. Yay. All right, next one is a crowd pleaser, feathering. You're gonna love this one. What color? Oh, here's the new kind of bottles you'll start seeing. They twist off just like a normal bottle, right? But the needle actually goes in this little other needle. I don't know, like a solid needle into the hollowed needle, okay? Put that to the side, keep track of it. Same idea. That was perfect. All right, so you're gonna make a dot in the middle. Yay. These are a little harder to get back on, especially when you're not wearing your glasses. Okay, so it just slides back in, so it has a needle built in. That's pretty cool, right? All right, now we're gonna kind of build a bullseye. Everybody knows what a bullseye looks like?
Yeah.
All right, again, keeping track of that needle, turn it over, testing. Now, you'll find that red and orange are more liquidy than the other ones.
Why?
I don't know, it's weird that way. It's true for overglazes too. All right, let's do black. Again, keeping track of that needle, testing. Okay. And you want, like, I would say like 4 colors at least. 4 different rings. Okay. Always put the needles back, okay? What haven't we used?
Why?
Orange. Keeping track of my needle, right? I tested it, no burpees. Look how liquidy that is. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my god. Miss Schultz, do you do all 3 of these?
What do you
Or
mean?
like both of those, like all 3 of these on your clay?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
I think
We're
we
built.
have
We're
some
built.
examples.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll explain that at the end. Okay. So now with feathering, we're gonna finish it off. We made our bullseye, right? Now you're gonna take the ball of one of the pins. You're gonna put it in the middle and drag it out. Put it in the middle, drag it out. Put it in the middle, drag it out. Put it in the middle, drag it out. It's like a spider web, doesn't it? Cool, right? All right, and then just clean off your little tip. Thank you. Put it back. All right, so we've done spongeware, which is the purple stuff. We did lattice, which is the brown stuff. We did dotware, which is the kind of gold color. We just did feathering, right? That's the bullseye that we pull out. Now we're gonna do combing. Yet another crowd pleaser. All right, so remember when we were going over tools and there was like a hair comb in there? And I said you'll use it when we start glazing? It's time.
It's time.
Hmm?
Already.
I saw you just put it on your mouth.
I'm not.
Oh, we didn't use green yet.
You're not holding it
Oh, did you see that?
This all
This is why we test.
That would have been horrible if it wasn't there.
Horrible, right?
You should do white so it was a candy cane.
All right, so you want to do at least 4. Now with your little cookies, you might stripe the whole thing and then do the combing.
Burgers you've been, I don't know what burgers you've been eating, but that does not make you
Can you do?
All right, so at least 4, right? All right, let's look in our bin of fun here, gentlemen. There's not a comb in here. Can somebody look for a comb? Oh, I found one. Never mind.
Operation
I
Find
lied.
Comb is a
We're good.
bust.
All right, so a comb. So you're gonna put it on the clay and drag it across. Look what happens. Is that cool? Has anybody ever marbleized paper? It's kind of like that. If you haven't, YouTube it. It's awesome.
If you haven't, just go on YouTube.
YouTube is wonderful that way. All right. We might do that next year, though. You might be
Marbling.
marbling next year. All right. Next technique called marbling. Weirdly enough. All right. Who has watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Oh my gosh.
All right. You know the everlasting gobstopper?
Yeah.
This is what I call marbling, the everlasting gobstopper. All right. So you're gonna make
You might have to start
a blob.
a blob.
You're gonna make 3 blobs.
Like right next to each other.
Yeah.
And then you swirl. Yeah, use a teal.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. Oh, so pretty. All right. And you put it right next to each other. See how it's connecting?
Do a white now.
Oh, they do.
That looks
White
so
would look
cool.
pretty.
And like all this
That
on
look
one
pretty.
piece of
I was
clay.
thinking of like.
Do it now. All right. There we go.
Oh, yay, white.
All
Is
right.
that Galactus goop or whatever?
All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh. All right. So now you're gonna swirl it, okay? But you can't swirl it too much because then what would happen?
The colors blend.
Yeah, you would just mix a new color. We don't want to mix a new color. We want to swirl it, make it look like a marble.
Yeah.
Anybody not know what a marble looks like? For real? Okay, we'll hook you up with what a marble looks like. So I start in the middle, and I swirl outward.
Whoa.
Look how beautiful that is.
Wow.
I know, it's one of my favorites.
Crowd pleasers, you know.
Crowd
Sponge is getting
pleaser.
abused.
All right, so that's marbling. All right, what's next? Hand painting. So hand painting would be if you took a paintbrush, and you used your little palette here that you've created, and you paint something recognizable. So let's say I make like.
Wait, don't tell us. We have to guess.
Oh, okay. You're gonna be able to tell upside down.
A duck.
Close.
Chicken?
A boot.
A person.
A pin for the penny stuff.
Candy cane. It's a really good
Candy
cane.
cane. A goose. A bird. A geese.
A bird. It's
I
a
heard
bird.
America.
Oh, you're right in my ear. A bird. Okay. Gosh. Alright, let's give it little feet.
Me.
It's you. Oh my gosh, you figured it out.
A chicken.
Me and the bunch.
It's a little bird. Okay. I don't know why it won't do a little beak for me. Come on. Okay, so it's a little bird. Let's turn around for the camera people. See the little bird? Do you see the bird?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was that called? All right, so here's a scenario. You're doing your house and you have a shape you want to fill in with a color and you use a paintbrush. Is that hand painting? No. Why is it not hand painting?
Because you're filling in the shape.
You're just filling in a shape. You need to do some kind of imagery that's recognizable. Okay? So a little birdie is good, or a car, or whatever. Monster,
What if you
worm,
can't draw?
happy face. Okay. Next one, antiquing. This one we have to get my hedgehog. Here's my hedgehog. Poor hedgehog has been many colors in his little lifetime. All right, so we're back with the hedgehog. Now, antiquing you can only do once you fire it once. Anybody happen to know what it's called when you fire it once? Right now this is greenware. It's new. Green is new, right? This has been fired once. It's not a color. But who likes soup? Creamy soup.
Oh.
That's your hint.
Clam chowder. Tomato soup.
Lobster
Lobster bisque.
bisque. Yep. So it's called bisqueware. All right. So you're gonna take.
Oh,
And you're
Someone's
gonna
down.
you're gonna rub in the color. Or just make the front of them purple.
Your next class is going to be like, why is it now half purple?
Yeah. All right. Shh. We listening? Then you're gonna take a sponge, a clean sponge. Whoops. And you're gonna wipe off the edges, and you'll see the purple stay in the cracks. Okay. Ideally, you would let it dry first. For today, we're not doing that, but you will let it dry first. And clean your sponge again. The idea is to get the surface. Look how pretty that clay color is,
I can't.
right?
Oh, wow.
And then the purple would stay in the cracks. Okay? So you would do it until your surface is clean, but you still have the color in your cracks. We good? What was this one called?
Antiquing.
Antiquing. All right. And sgraffito. Sgraffito is an Italian word meaning to scratch. So up here on your cart, there's a ricotta container, ricotta, however you say it.
Ricotta.
You can tell it's Italian
My,
because it
my
sounds
Italian grandma would say ricotta. Okay, so you're gonna use one of these tools in here. Shh. And what you do is you scratch the surface. Now this has to be done while your glaze is wet. And it has to be done while your clay is green, okay? So you would pull out some designs, okay? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Kind of hard to see with the purple and the brown. Okay.
I'm still doing the blob.
All right. So that is what?
Ricotta.
It's not ricotta. It's
Ricotta is the thing it's in.
it's the Italian word meaning to scratch, right? Sgraffito. All right. Last but not least, dripware.
words like scratch.
All right. Again, I have a new bottle. Testing.
That part of the
And this is dripware. It's really not that exciting.
very, very anticlimactic.
Whoa.
All right, so dripware.
Could you
All
put
right.
it in? Could you put it in the
All right, so now here's your quiz. I'm going to point the things. You're going to tell me what technique it is, right?
without looking?
You ready? Okay.
Chase, I see you.
Feathering. Good job. Brown stuff.
Ladder
This one.
Lattice.
That's not feathering. Combing. Combing. Lattice is the brown. All right, how about this one?
Marbling.
How about this stuff?
Scruffito.
Which means to scratch.
Why are all the Italian words so cool?
All right, how about these gold things? Dot wear, right. How about this one? How about this one?
Chicken.
Hand painting. All right, you guys are good to go. Can you turn me off, please?